Welcome to part 2 of the postpartum recovery journey. If you haven't seen part 1, you can click on the pop-up at the top or head over to my main page. So let's get into it. The next piece is learning to ask for help. This is another hard one because as a new mom, for whatever reason, you feel like you have to know how to do everything right away. And the reality is, if you've never done this before, how are you supposed to know what to do? I don't know. Sure, you can read about it, but things are very different when the baby is actually here than what you read in a book. So asking for help is totally fine. Whether you need help with someone showing you how to do something, whether you need help with someone watching your baby so you can go and have a shower, whether you need help cleaning your house, like who cares what it is? Just find someone you're comfortable with and ask them for help. I promise you, people are gonna be very happy to help you, especially if it involves taking care of the baby and holding the baby and playing with the baby. 9 times out of 10, there's gonna be someone who is there to help you. It took me a while to ask for help. Even still, I feel a little uncomfortable asking for help only because I feel like I should be able to do everything on my own. And there's so many different things I'm talking about when I do talk about this. So things like getting up with the baby at night. So I always get up with the baby at night. He wants to eat, so it's always me. Not because Dan doesn't wanna help or he can't help, it's just because in the end, I have to end up going in there anyway because usually Finn wants to eat. He's a very hungry little boy. But there are times where, 2 hours have gone by and he won't go to sleep and he can't eat anymore because there's no milk left, all these different things. So I have to wake Dan up and I have to go and get him. And I always feel bad about this. He has to get up early, he has to work, do all these things, deal with his day-to-day stuff. But at the end of the day, he is always willing to help me. He will jump out of bed, he will do what he needs to do, stay up with the baby. And I know that if I had just woken him up sooner, it would be a lot easier. Finn might have fallen asleep quicker. I don't know. A million different things, but I have to remind myself of that when I go through those nights of, oh, should I wake him? Should I not? I need help, but I don't want to ask. But I know now that it is the right thing to do. Dan is always happy to help, even if it's in the middle of the night. And yes, it's hard. It's hard for everyone, but at the same time, I don't know what we expected when we have a brand new baby. This is what it's all about. There are definitely times as well where I feel overwhelmed with everything that I have going on. And that's just, I put it on myself. Nobody puts this on me, I just put it on myself. So it's keeping the house tidy. It's making sure that Finn has the right meals. It's making sure that Hazel's happy. If you know Hazel, you know that she needs a little bit of extra attention. So that's stressful. So there are days where I feel like there's too much going on and sometimes I need help. So probably once a week now, my mom will come over and watch Finn so that I can just get things done around the house to take off a little bit of stress, whether it's putting laundry away or just cleaning the bathrooms or cleaning the kitchen, whatever it is. It's just really helpful to have her here so that I can run around for an hour and just check a bunch of things off my list. So if you have someone who you feel comfortable enough to leave your baby with or have them come into your home to watch your baby for a little while, just ask them. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. And if it can take just a little bit of pressure off you, I promise you'll feel like $1 million. So it's okay to feel overwhelmed, but it's very likely that there's someone out there who's willing to help you and just take away a little bit of that overwhelmedness. I know that's not a word, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so the next piece of this pie is understanding that there will be tough days and amazing days. This cannot be more true. It's not to say one is exclusive of the other. You are going to have tough days with amazing moments, and you're also gonna have amazing days with tough moments. And that is okay. I know I've mentioned this before, but if you know me, I am very much a glass half full kind of person. I like to see the positive side of things. I try not to let too much get to me, especially things that I can't control. And so I don't have too many tough days, not because I live this perfect, amazing, whoop-de-doo life, but I just choose to focus on the good, and so maybe that's why I don't recognize them as tough days. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you about a tough day I had recently. It was a series of events that just led to me having what we're gonna call a tough day. So it was actually Valentine's Day, and the night before, Finn had been up for a long time. He woke up 2 or 3 times, and on the 3rd time, he was awake for probably 3 hours. So I think I maybe got a total of 3 hours of sleep that night. So I was definitely a little rusty when I got up that morning, and I went downstairs, and Dan had this super cute basket for me for Valentine's Day with a nice card, and he bought a bunch of chocolate and Starbucks card, which obviously love the Starbucks card. So I was very pumped about that. So anyway, after I go through the gift, I'm super excited, super happy. I go over to make my coffee in my new cup, and I'm walking over, grab the lottery tickets that he got me. So I go and sit down in the family room where Dan and Finn are playing on the floor. So I'm scratching my lottery ticket, and for whatever reason, I bent down to pick up Hazel's ball to throw it for her. And I have no idea how this happened. Still, to this day, it's 12 days later or whatever. I don't even know what date it is. But it's a couple weeks later, and I still don't know what happened. But somehow, my entire coffee spilled everywhere. I hadn't even taken one sip out of this coffee. So it doesn't sound like a big deal, but we have a glass and wood table, and we also have a cream colored carpet. So like, this is on me for picking a cream colored carpet when we have a baby and when I like to drink coffee in there. So shame on me for doing that. So this coffee spills everywhere. It spills all over the table, wrecks everything on the table. My computer was on the table, my hard drive was on the table, a birthday card that I had colored for my sister was on the table, and whatever didn't land on the table landed on the floor. And I would say that more of the coffee landed on the floor. So the carpet is like destroyed at this point. And seeing as how I had only had a total of about 3 hours of sleep the night before, this just threw me over the edge. It was too much. So I was freaking out. Dan jumped up and got the towels and the bucket and the soap and like did everything and cleaned it all up. And I was just so frustrated. Like I couldn't even think straight. I was so mad that this had just happened. So anyway, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal. Just with the lack of sleep that I've had over the past 8 months, I think this was just the kicker for me. So anyway, got it all cleaned up. Okay, let's move on. So anyway, I'm a little off for the next little while. So Dan sets up a fan in the family room to dry the carpet. We have hardwood floors, so he's trying to make sure that I didn't just ruin the hardwood floors. Anyway, I go over to the family room to pick something else up and stub my toe on this giant fan. So as if I wasn't already frustrated enough, I've just kicked this fan and now my toe feels like it's broken. And this was, again, too much for me. So it was just one thing after the other this day, one thing after the other. And I was just so frustrated. So frustrated. So this was a very long way of telling you that all of these little things added up to me being very unhappy that day, just feeling defeated, feeling overwhelmed, feeling frustrated, feeling like there was just too much going on. And so this was a tough day for me. Anyway, I ended up going for a nice long walk by myself. I didn't even bring the dog. I just went out by myself to get some fresh air and felt a million times better when I came back. So once all that was done, once I started feeling a little bit better, we had pizza as we always do on Valentine's Day, very romantic. And anyway, the day ended up being a very nice day. We had so much fun with Finn. All this to say that not every day is going to be amazing, but also not every day is going to be tough. And also there's going to be so many times where you're having a super tough day. Maybe you just need a minute to relax, whatever it is. But then your baby's going to do something super cute and you're going to forget about whatever you were just frustrated about. And your focus is going to totally shift to whatever they just did. So I hope you have more amazing days than tough days. If you need help, please don't be afraid to ask for it. The next piece is learning to find time for myself. So a couple weeks ago, I shared a video called 5 Things All New Moms Need to Do for Themselves. So I highly recommend heading over and watching that video. It'll probably pop up here or over here. I don't know which side it's gonna pop up on, but somewhere up here. So click on it, it'll take you right to that video. And in that video, I just talk about 5 super easy things that you can do as a new mom that make sure that you put some focus on yourself. And remember that you're a person too, you deserve some time for yourself. And these 5 things are not necessarily life altering, but they're just a few things that you can do for yourself as a new mom that will make you feel a little bit better, put some focus onto you, and just bring you a little bit of happiness outside of the happiness that you get from being a new mom. The next piece is I feel supported. I hope that everyone watching this video has someone who they feel has their back, who is there for them when they need them, who will step in when you haven't slept for days and days and days, and will watch your baby so you can have a quick nap. Just someone who's there for you no matter what, whenever you need them, because it's so important to have that support, especially as a new mom. You're gonna be going through all kinds of new challenges, all kinds of new experiences, and you're gonna feel flustered a lot, and having someone who's there for you makes a world of difference. When you have your baby as well, you will be supported by your midwife or your doctor, whoever delivered your baby. One of the reasons I decided to go with a midwife was because of that prolonged support that you get. So with our midwife, after we had the baby, she actually came to our house, I think for 2 or 3 visits once he was born, and she did the checkups on him, but she also checked up on me. And then we saw her again at our 6-week appointment. So I felt like I had that support and I loved that. But at the same time, that support ends after 6 weeks. So any questions and concerns and all that, it shifts, and it's likely that you have a doctor for your baby and you can ask them all the questions, but it's different. You went through this whole process with your midwife, you got very comfortable with them, they supported you once the baby was born, but at the same time, they have to move on because they have other patients, and then you're left to just kind of fend for yourself. It can be really scary and really hard because you kind of just feel like you're left out to dry and left to figure it out on your own. And I know that it's up to no one but yourself to raise this baby, but when you have the support, it is super helpful. And then when it's gone, you're like, okay, well, what do I do now? So rely on those around you. They are there to help you. Your friends and family are your best supporters and your best resources. And if you feel like you don't have that, reach out to people online. There are so many different mom groups, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is. And there are so many supportive moms in those groups who are willing to share their experience, willing to talk to you, whatever it is. But find someone that you feel comfortable talking to so that you feel like you have the support that you need in this postpartum journey. Because let me tell you, it's a roller coaster. Okay, so this next one is connecting to others, including my partner. This one is tricky because this is going to be different for everybody. And this is going to be different based on your different relationships. So with your partner, things are definitely going to change. Your focus goes from just the two of you to now all of a sudden all of your attention has to be on your baby, which you know is coming, and it's fine, but you both have to shift your focus and you have to learn how to do this. So it can definitely be challenging. It can definitely be hard, especially as first-time parents. You know, I didn't know how I was going to be as a parent. Dan didn't know how he was going to be as a parent. So you're learning together, and it can definitely be stressful at times. It can be hard at times. It's just super important to remember that you're learning how to do this together. And so give each other a break sometimes. You're going to have to do that because there are going to be so many ups and downs with this. But at the end of the day, this is new to all of you. So just try and remember that. And then when it comes to your friends, again, your focus has shifted and now your priorities might be a little bit different. And your friends will understand that. Your friends will be great, hopefully. But at the same time, it's still challenging. It doesn't make it any easier. But just give yourself a break. Again, this is one of those things you don't want to put too much pressure on. You're learning to be a new mom. You're learning to be a new parent. And this takes time. And you might actually find new people that you connect with, and that's great too. Finding people that are going through the same things that you're going through is a great way to connect with people. I know I mentioned this before, but I did a couple of things to get myself involved in mom groups. I just wanted to connect with people who understood what I was going through and who were new to this whole motherhood thing as well. So if you are trying to find new people to connect with, you can meet people virtually, you can meet people through mommy groups. Maybe there's people at work who are also on mat leave that you can connect with, and it's just easier to connect with someone who's kind of in the same place as you. Next up is I don't expect perfection of myself. I know this can be hard because we're surrounded by perfection. Social media focuses so much on the amazing sides of being a mom. And don't get me wrong, there are so many amazing sides to being a mom. Like I've said a million times, it's the best thing ever. But at the same time, it is so freaking hard. It is literally the hardest thing you'll ever do. And there's definitely not enough attention on that. Outside of social media perfection, there's also the expectations that others have for us. And it sucks, but it's the reality that people are gonna say, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Why aren't you breastfeeding? Why aren't you bottle feeding? Why aren't you feeding them this at 6 months? Why are they still sleeping in your room? There's a million questions that you're gonna be asked that are gonna make you feel like you're doing something wrong. But we all know that you're gonna be doing what's best for you and for your baby. So I really hope that you can focus on not being perfect and just doing the best that you can. It is extremely hard to push away all the outside pressure. Sometimes it's impossible, but I hope that you can forgive yourself in those moments when you feel like you're not being absolutely perfect, because nobody's perfect. Not one single person in this world is perfect. So please recognize that, please remember that, and just focus on the good things that you're doing. Your ultimate goal as a mom is to have a happy and healthy little baby, and also to make sure that you're happy and healthy as well. And the journey to get there is not going to be perfect, but as long as you're trying and you're doing your best and you're asking for help when you need to and you're taking care of yourself, just know that that's all that matters. Don't worry, you got this. And finally, the last piece of the pie here is laughing comes easily. So this can be very hard for a lot of people. I hope it's not for you. Laughing is just the best. It makes you feel amazing. I don't know if this happens for you, but if I hear someone else like belly laughing, it makes me laugh hysterically. So if right now laughing does not come easily for you, I really encourage you to find something that makes you smile, that you think is funny. Spend a little extra time with that thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's talking to your best friend. Maybe it's watching a comedy special. I don't know. But do something that just makes you smile, makes you laugh, makes you feel good. Because this just has to boost your mood. There's no way around it. If you're laughing, it's gonna make you feel good. I know for me, I laugh the hardest when I am with my best friends. We have so much fun together, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I have not been able to spend the time that I want to spend with them. So I've had to find other ways to make myself laugh. Another thing I discovered this year was TikTok. So if you're not on TikTok, good for you, because it's like once you go on there, you're going down a rabbit hole and you're on there for hours, and before you know it, it's 12:30 at night. But there are some funny people on there. So when I need a mood booster, when I need to just feel a little bit better, you go on TikTok for like literally 2 seconds and something will make you laugh. It's hilarious. So although I'm not encouraging you to download this app because you will end up spending way too much time on it, if you already have it, you know what I'm talking about. If it's not TikTok, if it's not your friends, I don't know what it is. We all have different humor, but find something that makes you laugh. And maybe you commit a little extra time every day to watching this or doing this thing that makes you laugh, because no matter what, this is gonna boost your mood. There's no way around it. So, and with that, we have finished the pie. I'm really glad that this picture kind of crossed my path today, because my video was solely gonna focus on the way my body looks. And now I think about it, I'm like, why was I even thinking of doing that? Because there's just so much more to postpartum recovery than the way that our body looks. So I'll link this image down below so that you can see it. You can check on it whenever you want. And just remember that there is so much more to the postpartum recovery journey than just the way your body looks and that 6-week checkup. There's also so much more to the postpartum recovery journey than I've talked about today. I hope that this has just shifted your focus a little bit. The way you look is not everything. It's such a tiny part of who you are. And I hope that focusing on this bigger picture, all these pieces of the pie will just make you feel good. Try tracking your success by how much you're laughing every day or how much you're connecting with someone. I don't know how you're feeling, but this really resonated with me and just reminded me that it's not all about how I'm looking on the outside. There's so much more to it. And I hope that it did that for you as well. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I really hope that you're doing the best that you can on your postpartum recovery journey. If you need help, if you need support, please reach out to someone close to you, because I bet there are more people there for you than you even know. And I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.